But at the end of the day, I ended up saying to him, why salmon? Anyway, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Leeds 101, where we talk about Leeds United with someone who is a brand new or now emerging Leeds United fan, having attended your first match. How are we doing today? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling bad? Are we feeling somewhere in the middle?
We're kind of in the middle, I think. I think it's just been like the world is a little heavier than normal, especially after that Millwall match. We got to throw everything out. Like we're jumping ship. We're causing all the ruckus because obviously it's such a big deal.
I think, in my opinion, the Millwall match was the worst thing that happened to the world yesterday.
For sure. Nothing else.
Which nothing else happened, no. And I've already made the mistake of doing a live stream on that.
Oh
So
God.
I think we'll steer clear of the big orange boy for a while. But I hope we're all
The
doing very well.
Cheeto, the jumbo
The,
Cheeto.
indeed. I mean, we could just do that. We could just do that as our Leeds 101 and be like, let's talk about the Millwall match, but also geopolitics.
No, I'm good. I'm staying away from the politics, man.
Yeah,
We'll let the other people handle
I'm
that.
steering clear of the substance of it, but before we leave it there for the politicking, I'm just gonna, in said stream that I did, someone came up like, I guarantee I've read more politics stuff than you, and that's where I just smiled. I thought to myself and I grinned and I was like, oh, he's
Kind of
new,
smart. Yeah.
because 2 politics degrees say otherwise.
Yeah.
Baby Zebra says hello.
Hello.
And Clive
Ugh.
is starting the paranoia immediately. Clive is known for this. Clive is renowned for this. Clive only tends to show up when things have gone a little bit wrong from time to time.
Oh boy.
Hello, Clive. Are the
Hello.
49ers known for appointing loser coaches and having no ambition?
If you'd
This is
speak
where
to
some people are. Yeah.
half of our fan base believes this too. So I kind of see where Clive is coming from. But we're not gonna jump ship yet, Clive. Maybe it's nice to dash in a little bit of negativity every now and then so then the positive vibes can come to the forefront and we can kind of shake everybody out of the delusion that they're feeling. But we're not gonna go full on yet. Okay, Clive?
Yeah, we're going to be a little bit chill
Yeah.
because looking at the stats this season so far, we've still lost the least amount of games in the league. It might not feel that way. It might feel like everything's going wrong. But looking at the matches that we've lost, which are a grand total of 2, Sunderland have lost 2, Sheffield United have lost 2, Burnley have lost 2, they might lose 3, who knows? And none of them are screaming about sacking their manager. And if they were, I feel like the league would be very, very different. I know that another club in the league have fired theirs, I think, today, I think it was.
Oh God. Already?
But yeah, for an idea of how things have been going recently, right, for that club, their last 4 matches are a draw, a win against Luton, a win against Middlesbrough, who were 8th, and then they lost last night 2-1 to Derby. And then after that one loss, they sacked him. So maybe everyone's onto something. Maybe Coventry are making sense here. They're absolutely not. They're not. No, it's not happening.
Yeah, 49ers coaches would be gone a long time ago if this was the formula for firing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mike has said, look, we can't win every game. We're in need of a decent 10, but on to the next game. A decent 10? Oh, as in a number 10, as in on the pitch. I thought you were about, like, we need to score 10 goals. I was like, that's optimistic. I like it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's necessarily coming. Yeah, I can feel that. And the next game is QPR. And spoiler for a thing that I'm going to be promoting in a few minutes. I did a sort of pre-match preview for a QPR fan channel. And we basically had a conversation after the fact where he was like, yeah, it's going to be a rout, isn't it? You're just going to walk over us. And I was like, when I did my score prediction, I couldn't think of a nice way of saying that you're going to get dicked. So I just tried to phrase it very kindly and be like, I mean, you've got a chance in theory. It might not necessarily go wrong. It's absolutely going to go wrong for them. And we're going to pummel QPR, but that's not for yet. Afternoon, folks. Every poor result, Farker's leash is getting shorter in my view. We are 3rd in the league, J Racer. I like you, J Racer. I like your love of sim racing. I like the fact that you could probably beat me on a lap around the Nordschleife in any sim. But at the same time, like, to say it's a short leash when we're 4 points off the top of the table. It's a little bit quick, isn't it?
That's it. It's 4.
Yeah, it's a grand total of 4
It's
points.
like you're making it like it's like a 20-point deficit here. We're not selling the farm yet. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Keep the
last season there was a point we were 17 points back.
Okay.
And it was still fine. It was all
It was
good.
totally fine.
Yeah, there wasn't a problem. But we like for there to be problems.
Yeah, problems equal content and equal us having more engaging conversations with people that maybe don't necessarily agree with our opinions. And that's a good thing.
And I was going to touch on the politics for a moment, but I decided to behave. You need to be proud of me because I've decided to not go in that direction.
I am
proud. How have you didn't you previously go by Taschenrechner, which is a German name, and you've not tried the big German track? Unacceptable. Right.
I'm impressed with your memory with names and everything, though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is back when I was doing a sort of iRacing stream where I was doing like
Oh my god,
a certain number of laps around the Nordschleife to sort of do the equivalent of our distance to our next away game, which was a fun stream.
That is cool, yeah.
But what ended up happening was it turned into a chat of about 4 people because it was sort of like everyone else was like, this guy's shit. And it just descended.
Oh god. Can I ask, do you have your own sim?
I've not got like a full
just
sort
like
of
a little wheel
sim, but
okay,
got the
pretty
wheel.
badass.
I got a wheelbase over here that is set on my desk.
Okay,
I've not done iRacing for a really long time, actually.
How have we not talked about this before?
I don't know. We've talked about it a little bit, I think, when you worked for R Factor.
But you never said anything that you did this. No, well, kind of. I worked for Motorsport Games, which like are tied to R Factor. R Factor 2 was the platform. I don't even know how to say it, but what we used when we would do the 24 Hours of Le Mans online, the virtual one. So yeah,
the one that we don't talk about because
we don't talk about
people have talked about that one enough on the internet.
We're good.
When you couldn't drive, then you got vaguely good and the crashes stopped. Yeah, people stopped being entertained when I was like, no, I know this track now, it's fine. And people got a little bit mad at that, but that's okay.
We like crashes better, clearly.
But on this, the statement that we should be top. There's multiple approaches to this, right? There's the approach of every team has faced different opponents so far this season. So in terms of teams that we've faced, if you're looking at the top half of the league, top is Sunderland, we've played them. Second is Sheffield United, we beat them. Fourth is Burnley, because we're third, and we should have beaten them, we were unlucky to not. Then fifth is Millwall, lost to them last night. I showed you the highlights, so we were on top of that game, but Millwall are just very, very good at being stodgy, is the way that I put that. Then there's Watford, who we know that we beat, and we beat fairly happily. West Brom that we drew to. Borough, who admittedly not played in the league, but we played everyone else in the top 7. Now, compare that to a lot of the other teams around the top of the table. That's not happened to them. So, for example, I don't think Sunderland have played Sheffield United. I don't think we've played the majority of the bottom of the table right now. So we have played QPR. I don't know if we've done Preston. I'll be honest, I'm not keeping track. We've not done Luton, not done Oxford United. There's so many teams that we've not played towards the bottom that is complicated, I think. I think it's early enough to draw an idea of where we are compared to the other teams in terms of level. But would you say it's a little bit too early to be saying, well, we need to be top, otherwise we're not doing enough and it's not good enough and all this sort of stuff?
Are you asking me or are you asking Clive?
I'm asking you.
Oh, you know what? Listen, you can look at the difficulty of a schedule in any sport and we can kind of make predictions based off of that. The fact that, like what you just said, we have all these teams that are bottom of the table that we're going to be going up against. I think it's fair to say that we should beat these teams and that we will raise up, and that Sheffield United and them, they have maybe a bit more difficult schedule coming up their way. They might fall down. So why don't we look at it that way instead of, well, we should have been top? It's like, okay, well, we also could be bottom, but we're not. Do you know what I mean? Like we're still up there and Sheffield also could go down. So we are not waving the white flag just yet, guys.
Yeah. There's also this element where the reason that I think several times I said this to you before we'd started doing the season is the Championship is the best league in the world if you're an external viewer, because any team on any day can beat anyone else. So, for example, look at.
Can I say what that is in football terms? If we're saying football terms, any given Sunday. Any given Sunday. It means that literally any team can win at any point on any Sunday. Doesn't matter, coming into it on paper, who's the better team. Same goes for any other sport. It's like any given whatever day they're playing, right? Literally, those guys could win at any point. So just wanted to add that little tidbit in there for you guys.
Yeah, I've put it in the category of shit happens, because you're not going to win everything. And to assume that is to be completely nuts. Like, we've still won half of our matches this season, and we've only lost 2 games.
Incredible.
And we've got, I think, by the metrics, the best defense in the league and one of the best attacks in the league.
Right.
It's
pretty good.
Yeah. I'd say better than pretty good. I'd say we're doing very well so far, to be honest with you. What I'm going to do, actually, is a quick comparison to something. Crystal, it was great to see you, Ellen Rowe, with a smile on your face, cheering the Mighty Whites on. We'll have a quick discussion on this whilst I'm looking for a stat. How did you find Elland Road? Not as in geographically. I showed you where Elland Road was.
Yeah.
But
I think I could just go on and on about the character of the building and everything itself. Okay, so I don't know if I told you guys that when I first started following the 49ers, they used to play at a stadium called Candlestick Park. It was definitely older, very iconic stadium where the catch happened, one of the biggest moments in 49ers history. And that stadium, when I first went to it, was just taken back because you could just feel the history in it. And I kind of had that same vibe when I was in Ellen Road. There was history there. There's this feeling that the fans really love it. They think of it like their second home. You walk in there, you felt welcome. The chant that song that you were singing along with, I thought that was one of the most beautiful things, because you look around, every single person around us, they were singing it like it was the national anthem, of their country. So that alone for me was huge. That made me that's 10 out of 10, no notes. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really enjoyed the experience. It obviously was a dub. We love to see that. I got to see Dan James get out on the field. That was cool. I had a pie. That was really good. So I'm just all around. Yeah, very, very great experience for me. I cannot wait to come back. I think this is the thing when we're in the playoff. No, when we're going to go up and it's that game that determines that we win and we're going up, I'm going to be at that game. I think we got to make that happen.
That sounds quite difficult to make happen, but sure, we could do our best to try and make that happen.
Yeah. What time of the year would that be in? Is that May?
It'd be, I'd say, April.
April.
I think we've got one match in May. But then again, it might be down in Plymouth, which absolutely not going to be able to get to.
Oh, Plymouth. Where is that? I can't fly there? They don't have an airport?
It's to put it kindly, the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
Oh.
And
we kind of like those places. They have interesting little hole in the wall cafes and everything. I don't know. Could be fun.
I think I'd just leave it at Plymouth's a bit of a hole, but that'll do it, to be honest. The only stat that matters is top 2. I'm going to add a little bit of something to this. The only stat that matters is top 2 after 46 games of football. We've played 14.
Drop that mic.
And if we want another stat, everyone ranting and raving about how good the promotion season was all the way through it, when after 14 matches, we had 25 points. We've played 14 matches this season. We've got 26 points.
Oh,
let's
beautiful stat there, man.
We're okay.
Keep it coming.
The head loss can cool down. We're fine. We can breathe. I love that she's going to come back. It's now in Crystal's blood. Oh, you're infected with Leeds at this point. There's no way out. There's no freedom from this.
You know what? I follow them on Instagram. I like every post. I feel like a cute little fangirl that's just discovered them for the first time, and it's just so exciting. It's the honeymoon stage, guys. I love this. It's fun.
Yeah, and then we're going to get to the, oh no, I think I need therapy now stage in a little while. But
I'm a therapy fan. It's okay. We're good.
Ideally, that comes next season after promotion hath happened, and now we're getting beaten week in and week out. But we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
But last season we were third, and the same problems are happening. Right. 1, tell me what the problems are, rather than just saying there's problems, things are bad. 2, if you would sack Daniel Farke, who would you replace him with? Because the conversation earlier in the season was get rid of Daniel Farke, get Carlos Corberán in. In their last 5 matches, Watford have drawn all of them. In their last 6 matches, not Watford, sorry, West Brom have drawn all of them. In their last 6 matches, they have scored 3 goals, and they've not won in their last 7. And we're saying that this is the guy that we need to run Leeds United? Are we completely sure? Because we scored
completely
6.
insane.
Yeah, we scored 6 weeks worth of West Brom goals in a single match against Plymouth. But that's fine because Daniel Farker plays boring football where we don't attack or something. I don't know. It's
fine,
I don't
man.
understand.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to make Clive happy on this one.
I don't think anything will necessarily make Clive happy. If he needs an ice cream, then we can sort that. But
I'll send you some gelato, man. We got some good ones in Italy. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, we're going not ice cream, but fancy Italiano.
Top tier.
No tactics other than to pass it around a bit. My guy, just I'm leaving it at that because I don't think this is a conversation that can actually be had. Where was the 1 second? Not sponsored, but I've got a book to recommend for you that actually discusses how one understands things like tactics. Give it a look.
I
It'll
should
be
read
quite
that.
good for you.
That could help me too,
Maybe,
actually.
yeah. It's genuinely a good. It's really well illustrated and everything. Again, not spawn, but if you want to sponsor me, go for it. It's really like nicely illustrated and everything. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay. Pictures for my daughter. We could read it to her at night. Maybe she'll be
Absolutely.
on board. She could be the next head coach of Leeds one day.
Maybe like full Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in general the Millwall match was. It wasn't a fun watch, but that's what you get when you're playing against Millwall, who are a little bit grindy kicky. Go on.
I would say though, we had many, many chances, and it was exciting to watch at least because I felt like it was like Aronson, Peru. There was one that was offside by him that I got, I think, a little excited at first thinking that was a goal. But then I already knew the score. So I'm like, there's no way that was a goal, which was annoying. But it's fine. I mean, I think, what did I see? It's the first away defeat for them.
I think, yes. I'll have a quick look to find the deets.
I'm pretty sure first away defeat of the championship season. So that's pretty crazy, guys. Like I don't think we should be again waving that white flag, jumping off the ship there. Like to say that that's kind of stat. What could we do better? I mean, sometimes you're gonna lose. This happens. Wouldn't you rather get it out of the way at the beginning of the season ish, whatever we're at right now, middle? I don't even know, but then at the end when it is in a game that actually matters. I don't know. I argue with people about this with the Niners as well. And it's like, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So if we're about to finish and we're third and that's how the season went again, okay, now we can start to go boo-hoo and whatever and say all this shit that we're going to say. But right now we're not there. So calm down, Clive. Okay.
Yeah, I think one of the things that sort of throws me a little bit, and this is because Clive clearly now just doesn't know what he's talking about, is saying that people say Bielsa had no plan B, but what they mean is he didn't play long ball, he had no plan B, C, D, E, F. I'm going to directly quote Marcelo Bielsa, the guy that we're talking about, having plan B, C, D, E, F, all that sort of stuff. And it's not word for word, but it's what has been reported was said because he said it in Spanish and it has had to be translated. Bielsa himself said, I don't have a plan B because you just do plan A better.
Oh,
which
that's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's fair enough. But like to say that like this guy had multiple plans, it's like this guy told you he has one plan, and you're like, well, I'm gonna try and turn it into a guy. You're chatting bollocks, Clive.
Bollocks.
I've never heard you say the word bollocks before.
I've never said it. That's the first for me, I think.
No. You can't say yeah, but he was joking though. Come on. Let's not be daft now. Don't get it. Lose one game and people are in meltdown. Where's the doom and gloom coming from? I think I'm sort of sat there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
1 second.
I think I'm still riding the high of the game that we went to. That was so great. And I watched them just like annihilate them, just do such a great job out there that there's nothing, one loss after that game cannot harm. And they gave me 4-3-0.
Yeah.
They won 3-0 before this one. So I mean, we're not gonna sit here and go, oh my God, like we're tanking on the season. That's not happening.
No.
I just feel like
And
some people like to be miserable. Sorry, Clive, but like it sounds like you just like to be stuck in negativity. And maybe that's like go for a walk, drink some more water, like get some vitamin D in your life. I don't know, man. Got to do better than this.
yeah. And this is another good point as well. How many managers actually do have plan Bs? Because if you look at even like the best of managers, you look at like Pep Guardiola. His extent of a plan B is shit. I guess we just kind of have to keep holding the ball around the opponent's box and do the exact same thing again, which weird, very weird. I don't. Anyway, whatever. We've also had a request for more British swear words, which I think is. I
Teach
don't
me
know.
one right
Can you
now.
think
What's
of
a
any?
good one to yell
No.
at the screen if I'm like in it? I know I said wanker at the game. That was fun. I called them wankers because they didn't want to get up. It's the divas that they don't even get touched. They're wankers.
Are we saying it to people or are we saying it?
I mean, I'm not really the one to say it to people, so I'll say like overall. Let's just say like something happens in the game that I'm just yelling something bad.
You see, I'll from time to time, like not directing it at someone, but if something on the pitch is letting me down, it just becomes a sort of dejected bastard. Which
Okay.
is, I don't know. I can't even picture where you'd put the emphasis on that, to be honest with you.
Well, bastard.
Oh, you're going hard on the B. Okay, fair.
Bastard. Yeah, I think that's where I start. What do you emphasize?
I think it depends on the mood. Sometimes you can emphasize
Bastard.
both sides of it. It can be like you push the bass out hard, but you've also got the tid, so it's like bastard. So it's like two separate words that squish. I don't either way. Yeah, we're third. It's 4 off the top, but then again, it's still not too bad, to be fair, especially when you consider that next up, Sunderland have Coventry, who are likely to be new manager bouncing. Sheffield United have Sheffield Wednesday, which is obviously never going to be good for them because it's a derby. And we've got QPR, who, having been in a conversation with a QPR fan this morning, they're not feeling comfy or confident with that one in the slightest. They are feeling very spooked. And the general gist was he looked at our side and sort of went, yeah, I don't know where our players are better than yours, to be honest, because we had a little bit of a chat afterwards to sort of delve into more stuff. But yeah, we'll be right. That's where I'm sitting on it, to be honest with you. It's like, and I'm going to use an analogy that I don't want to use because it's someone that I don't like that won a thing recently. You'll know where I'm taking this. But it's like if you're running a presidential campaign and you get like 4% less of the vote in a state than you expect to, but you win the state anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, because, for example, Trump doing worse than he expected in Atlanta doesn't necessarily mean that he's lost the presidential election. You just look at the wider picture, it'll be right, is where I'm sitting on it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ditto, man.
So we lose the second game of the season. We're in third place and people want rid of Farker. The world has gone mad. I am going to say the thing that I've avoided saying for quite some time. And I kind of want an outsider's take on this one as well. Because it's how I've been feeling about the way our fan base is looking recently. Is there a bit of an entitled vibe? A vibe of, yeah, we're not top right now, so we need to get rid.
Yeah, and this is something, I don't know, is it because of fans that have experience, like Clive has said that he's an experienced fan? Is it because of fans like that understand what it looks like to have a championship team that is, doing good things all season long? Is it that entitlement comes from, hey, we were there before, why aren't we there right now kind of thing? Is that because they've been up in the Premier League before? Like, I don't understand, because I look at it, I always draw conclusions to the Niners, obviously. Niners have won 5 Super Bowls in the time that they've been a team. I've never witnessed one of them, but they were a dynasty at one point. And I feel like the experienced fans that got to live through that always bring it back to we need to fire the coach that we have in right now because we're not where we were. We don't have the quarterback. We don't have this. We don't have that. Why is this happening? Like crazy, mad times. But it's those fans that I feel like really differ from fans like me who have come on board in the last 15 years, haven't witnessed the Super Bowl wins. So I'm very just like appreciative of the team that we do have, appreciative of the wins that we're having, appreciative that in the last 5 years we've gone to the NFC Championship game, to the Super Bowl, to all these big games that actually matter, that we have a winning team, that we're not a team like the Jets or the Giants that are doing absolutely terrible, that those fans never get anything to look forward to. It is an entitlement because those fans expect to be the best all the time. And when that's not happening, obviously there's something wrong. That's the vibe that I get. It's kind of the same. Everything's been paralleling. And I feel like I knew this was going to happen with us, same thing for the Niners. So yeah, it is an entitlement. I think that I'm not saying it's wrong to feel that way. I'm just saying it's different than what my opinion would be on the same subject.
Yeah, I think the way that I've tended to look at it is there's a lot of people thinking that we should just be winning games like this by default without actually looking at what it is. So people have an impression of Millwall as a team that don't have that much in terms of ability and will just kick you. But the reality of the situation is they're 5th in the league right now. And people will have an opinion on, let's have a look at another one, a team like Swansea, who are not doing too badly this season, but everyone will look a few seasons ago and be like, well, they were around the relegation zone then. Why aren't they now? We should beat them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't do enough to question their own perspective and narrative a lot of the time. So they'll go into a thing, be like, cool, this is my opinion. And they'll stand on that opinion. And regardless of what's going on around it, not be like, maybe I was wrong a little bit. So, for example, we were down for 15 years. After 3 years in the Premier League, we're entitled to expect some ambition. Looking at the summer transfer window last year, I don't think there's a world in which you say that we're ambitious regardless of what we do. Because we signed Laji Ramazani on a permanent, that could have very easily been a loan. We signed Mana Solomon, who is beyond hyped up by fans in Israel and clearly has a lot to him. And admittedly, it's not here yet, but that's a big signing.
Mm-hmm.
We signed Joe Rodon permanently. We didn't need to do that. We could have gone for a cheaper option. We signed Autanaka, who is a very, very good footballer. No one will deny this. Got Joe Rothwell in on loan. We've done a hell of a lot of stuff. And as much as you say that Rad Razani showed more ambition with a smaller transfer budget, do you remember the second summer that we were in the Premier League, where we knew that there were gaps in the squad? We knew that we needed a number 9. We knew that we needed a hell of a lot of things. And we made Jack Harrison permanent, and we signed Junior Firpo, which I think adds up to less transfer fees in a higher up league when there is a bigger budget than we had this year. Weird, baffling, confused. It's fine.
People want to sometimes just be in their own opinion and without doing the extra thought process that may go behind it or seeing the other person's side, right? Like when you look at the team from either a negative or positive, the people on the positive side maybe look at it so positive they don't look at the negatives, but I feel like you still should try to meet somewhere in the middle, that like you're making logistical takes on what you're talking about when it comes to sports and anything else in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's and another, like, it's not just about entitlements, it's about standards. It's a question of where you have set your standards. My standard is promotion this year, please. That's it. My standard isn't we need to be first place after every single match week, because that's unrealistic. I'm going to bring in an example from another sport. It's like Formula One team, Alpine, came second and third in the Grand Prix last weekend.
Yeah.
Wild for them. They don't do podiums. At the start of this season, they were struggling to get any points at all. And it would be like saying, well, they were on the podium a couple of weeks ago. Why aren't they doing that every week?
Right.
And it's because that's not where they are right now. Where we are right now is a club that needed to do a lot of selling in the summer because financial fair play is horrendous. We needed to rebuild a squad that had lost its star players. And we're not in a bad spot right now. And you say you're not talking about the Premier League because we're not there yet. You talked about the Premier League 2 comments ago. So it's fair to bring it up. I think. Now on pace for the 90-point trophy. It might be time to go on a run of wins. I think that's going to happen at some point anyway, right? And we have sort of been on a decent run. We were unbeaten in 8 before yesterday's match.
And yesterday was the first defeat away, so remember that.
Yeah. A lot of people have had complaints about the way that we've been playing away from home because a lot of the time it looks like we're playing relatively within ourselves and playing sort of conservative stuff and not pushing as hard as we necessarily can.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just a case of making sure that we don't lose in those situations. And being the first loss of the season yesterday, that ain't too bad, right?
That's not bad, no.
That's pretty good. And there's a general adage that if you win your home games and you draw your away games, you'll be fine. You'll get promoted.
You know how hard it is to win away? Like, I don't think people understand. I don't think they can grasp it. And actually just being in that crowd that I got to see at Ellen Road, you know, having to come there, I can't even imagine. Like, that's tough at stadiums where you feel that vibe, where the fans are so much a part of the team that it almost feels like they have an extra man on the field, you know? So, like, in order to go into somebody else's house and get the win or get a draw, that's huge.
Yeah. And another thing that throws me about the manager chat, right, is, and you mentioned this earlier, we had a lot of chances, right? Like, a hell of a lot. Every single game this season, we've come out of it with a higher expected goals than the other team. And I've always approached it from the perspective of, you're the manager, your job is to put your players in the position to make those chances.
Mm-hmm.
And surely at some point you've got to start, if you are the likes of a Clive, start looking at the players and go, sometimes it's on a plate for you, put the chance away. You know?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, all you can do as a manager is build a system, and then you're relying on the parts within that system to do their thing. If they're not doing their thing, that's not hugely on you, I don't think.
No.
But who knows? Who knows? Let's have a quick skim through. There's also this, yeah. Chris Pickering has been a fan for 60 years. We've only been in the top league for 20 of those, which is telling of the fact that I think because of when people were fans being sort of the Premier League years of before 2003, 2004, that's where they think the default is. So the default is where you grew up and where you got used to when you were in that sort of position. So being a fan that sort of got back into supporting Leeds in the Championship years and initially started supporting Leeds in Championship years, you sort of think, well, that's maybe the default. That's where we sit. And maybe that's why I'm having a less negative approach to it than everyone else, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Possibly.
Perhaps. Potentially. Right, Clive, you are chatting bollocks again.
Bollocks.
Stop. Stop. Just stop it. There's a point at which you go, it's all Daniel Farke's fault. But that doesn't make sense when there are plenty of players on the pitch who are able to put the ball in the back of the net. Come on, grow up.
Yeah.
I remember the late 80s wasn't good football back then. Yeah, football back then was messy and crap and not great. And finally, we have an Farke I trust. That's very helpful.
Beautiful. Yes.
But what we're going to do is we're going to potentially run this a little bit longer than the standard hour because I have just been scheduled to go into a meeting. Yay.
Oh, yay.
So we can hop on over to Questions Corner for a bit. If anyone's got any questions or anything, chuck them in the chat. We'll make sure we answer them. It's going to be absolutely lovely. All good. And I'm sure that there are many, many, many questions, whether it's about random stuff, as you guys tend to do, whether it's specifically about the Millwall match. We do. They're great. Whether it's about the Watford stuff. Let's try and not do politicky ones, because even though I will answer them, and I will answer them fairly grumpily, I'd rather not. I've done that this week, and it didn't go in the direction that I was a fan of it going.
Oof.
Oh, dear. Oh, well.
And I'm not a fan of having to talk about it, so
that's fine.
Let's leave it at that, man.
I completely get that. God. How did that... I not having that conversation anyway. Sod it.
Nope.
Sod it. Oh, dear. Jim's in the chat. Yay, my favourite two Leeds fans.
Up, Jim?
Hello, Jim. I'm hoping things are going good. Why are we the favourite two? There are many
Hey,
Leeds
I'll
fans.
take it.
I mean, I'll take it, but like Russell Crowe's a Leeds fan, and he's both more charismatic than we are. I'm speaking on your behalf, but I feel like he could outact us both.
Yeah, definitely. Dude, have you seen A Beautiful Mind? That guy is incredible.
And the mind in it, oh, beautiful. Danny, please can I get Crystal to another game? It was great seeing her face with a big smile. I mean, maybe. It depends. It depends on when you're about and when various work things happen, because we tend to be working when there is football happening, which makes things a little bit tricky. But probably at some point, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
we'll make it happen.
I'm not a fan of the specificity on this one. I'm out of the top 2. That's fine.
That is very flattering, Jim.
That's okay. I get it. I understand.
Oh.
Why is the CFL more exciting than the NFL? I'm guessing this is college football.
No, this is Canadian Football League. No. Are you kidding me? That's more exciting than NFL? No. No, I'm not even going there because the NFL just trumps everything. I hate that I just said that word, but yeah, no. CFL. How is CFL more exciting? Can I say that the NFL is just like there's more teams, it's more diverse, it's like you get more crazies everywhere, Canada. I just feel like the Canadian Football League is just so easy. I could get in there, maybe make a couple punts or something. People are gonna come for me. I don't know. CFL's just not my cup of tea, man. Not for me.
Yeah, no, maybe not. This is a good question. Who would Clive want in as manager? Followed by Leeds is a tiny village, and you should put all those straw men that you're building in a field. They might keep the crows away.
The Russell Crows.
The Russell. We get it. It's circular. I like it. I like it. It's fantastic. And thank you very much, Kevin. It's fine. I'm doing self-deprecating humor as a funny thing. My self-esteem's basically fine. Yeah. And we've had this conversation, but I feel like it won't always be followed/heard.
Okay, but there's a reason that I'm wearing this today. This man, Christian McCaffrey, is coming back. He's been out all season for the 49ers. He had Achilles tendonitis on both legs, like just this whole ridiculous situation going on for him. And he's playing in his first game this NFL season for the 49ers on Sunday against the Bucks. So I'm representing today because my boy's coming back. We love Christian McCaffrey. We love him in our fantasy football leagues, and we definitely love him on the 49ers. So red had to happen. I'm sorry.
What are we thinking? Injured against Tampa?
Injured?
Are we thinking he gets re-injured against Tampa?
No, hell no. Don't even put that out there, man. No. You bastard. I'm kidding.
Weirdly Scottish. Weirdly Scottish.
I don't know how to do accents, man.
It's fine. That's bizarrely Glaswegian. We have a Queen Crystal in the chat, which I think fair enough. And wear what you like. I'm a Leeds supporter, and red's my favorite color. It's got to be purple, right? Purple's the best color. It just is. Yeah, purple.
It's all right.
What do you mean? Excuse you. There's a reason it's called royal purple.
I like red. If I'm not going red, I'm going gold. That's the second color there, guys. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, but you're just going 49ers colors by that.
I know, but that's all that matters. It's in my blood. Those are the same colors that I bleed, man. So we got to go red and gold.
You bleed gold?
I do. It's crazy.
You might want to get checked. It's not great.
Oh God.
Which 49ers players should Leeds sign?
Okay. Christian McCaffrey. This guy, no, he's a great runner. But he also scores a lot of touchdowns. So I feel like that could translate well. He's the kind of like he can do it all, man. Deebo Samuel would be great. He's a wide receiver, but he also kind of dubs as a running back every now and then. He's super fast, super like Swiss Army knife, does it all. I think he'd be great. Brock Purdy, he's got the wheels. He's our quarterback. We love him. You guys could literally sign them all. George Kittle, the king of tight ends. Do you guys have fullback? You do. Oh, we got to go with Kyle Juszczyk then, because we have a fullback. That's a position in football for our football as well. He could translate well over there. He's a good dude. We like him. We like his wife. She makes things with her hands and sewing and stuff. It's really cool. So that was a lot of information.
I thought that was going to go. I'm not keeping up with any of that. No, that's a lot of names and a lot of words all at once. It's not happening.
You guys get me talking about the Niners and I don't shut up. Sorry.
Liverpool hate Man United and they have no problem with it. Clive. I'll just one second. I'm just going to do a quick Google to show you guys something.
Here we go.
Because at this point, my guy, you might have to do some thinking, and I know that can be tough sometimes. But I'm just going to do a quick screen share. Do you think there might be some reason Liverpool don't mind the colour red? Some sort of hint as to why Liverpool are fine with Man United being in red?
Oof.
This
is teaching me too. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just
because if I made that comment, it would almost make sense because I didn't know. But I'm sure Clive knew this.
Clive, Liverpool play in red. I've heard of chatting shit, but that's a whole damn sewer, my guy. Like, come on. Come on. I'm trying to give you some credit. What do you mean? Oh, never mind. The NFL has better players, however, there are more possession changes in the CFL. Plus, the field is longer and wider, and the backfield moves, which makes for more exciting plays. I don't know what any of this means, but this is one for you.
I don't think the CFL players are doing backflips over people and hurtling backwards like Saquon Barkley and being able to get in the end zone in all these interesting ways, doing these one-handed catches like Garrett Wilson. I don't see that in the CFL, and I'm not even talking about the players themselves. I'm just talking about the entertainment factor of the players, of what they're doing when they score these big plays. So I personally grew up watching CFL. I'm from Canada. My team is the BC Lions. I still like it. It's just not the same for me. It's not as exciting. But I just, not for me, guys.
You've angered one of my newer channel members as well. I like Crystal's passion, but hate that her Niners have ruined the Packers' hopes of a Super Bowl over countless seasons.
We haven't done anything to it yet. Not this year, at least. Dude, I know. It was like a tradition of us beating the Packers, especially Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. So I'm sorry about that, but also have a better team to support. I don't know. Just kidding. I don't actually have any issue with the Packers. I honestly feel like they're the cheeseheads. I have a lot of friends and family that are cheeseheads, so we don't shit on them. But it is fun beating you guys in the playoffs. Not as fun as the Cowboys, I will say that.
This is a weird one. I don't know. I know that pre-review we tended to be blue and white, a little bit Huddersfield shaped. I can't remember specifically when, but that was because the initial version of the club had to like borrow kits or something weird like that. Your apology's been accepted, by the way. And I thought all Leeds fans ditched their NFL teams when the 49ers bought us. Yeah, I didn't have an NFL team, so I've just sort of defaulted in that direction, I think.
Yeah.
Which
we will take it.
Congratulations, you're the NFL team by default.
Yes.
Shouldn't hate any colours because they're just colours.
True.
We'll introduce a new question then. What's the worst colour? Like, not from a point of view of I'm a Leeds fan, I don't like red.
Not anything to do with teams.
No, just like what's the worst colour?
I've never really liked orange. And I think it's just I don't look great in orange. I'm not a fan of that color. I feel like a lot of people love the color orange. I'm not an orange girl, which is close to a red, but yeah, I don't like orange.
Yeah, there was a color that I was thinking of, and it's a very specific one.
Oh, interesting. You're
Yeah,
gonna bring out like a tangerine or something.
No, it's one that I have previous negative issues with like a worky thing.
Okay. Fair.
But you will see this, and you will go, "Oh, that's not a very pretty color."
What is that?
I like it. It's like a sad gray, green, brown thing.
Yeah, kind of an army gray, green situation, but not so vibrant. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
That color makes me sad.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't bring good emotions.
Yeah, browns, I think, is a pretty fair way of putting it. Like, there can be a nice brown, a nice light brown.
Yeah. Listen, I have brown eyes, and my dad would always tell me, "Oh, you have beautiful brown eyes," because he has brown eyes too. But I hated my brown eyes because both my siblings have blue, so I never liked brown. But I've come to terms with brown now, and we're a fan of brown because you got to embrace who you are, right?
Yeah, I'm a fan of brown. I got the brown eyes.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, then that'd be a shame. But the brown with a little bit of green in them, which is straying dangerously close to this guy over here, which is not necessarily a good thing.
Just muck. I don't even know what that color is.
White isn't a color, correct? I think it's technically a shade.
Yeah, I don't think white, black, or gray are colors technically.
I like calling them colors
Yeah,
because
I think it
fits.
defaults to it. Yeah.
And it's the way a thing look, and that sort of. I don't. As a guy who's colorblind, I hate colors like that. What, like the one that I showed? I will not show the bad color anymore. You are safe. We'll hide the. I think it's called Pantone 448C. We'll hide that one forever.
Okay.
It's gone. Where are we? Blue eyes are a pain. I love brown eyes. Why are blue eyes a pain? They're fine, I guess. What? This conversation went in a weird direction, but we're going to take it back to
blue eyes. I think you have to wear sunglasses all the time because it's just like letting in too much light. Is that a thing, or am I tripping right now?
I don't know if that's the thing, but if that is a thing, I can see maybe why that's a pain.
Yeah.
But let's hop back to questions corner. Let's do 2 or 3 more questions, and then we will call it that. The sun extra sucks in blue eyes. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. How did I know that? I don't. Maybe my siblings complained about it when they were younger, and I was like, "Haha, I gotcha."
It's the sun.
Yeah.
We'll do a couple more questions, and it'll be fine. What? Technically, this is the first I've heard of this. Oh, we're talking about the shady colour-y thing. I'm still forever trying to wrap my head around some woman's magazine deciding some colour or other is the new black. I think it's because black is just a colour that works for clothes. Shade that works for clothes, sorry, since we're doing that. Is that it? I don't know. I'm not a very fashionable boy. I'm sat here right now in pajamas because I'm having a lazy day whilst doing a lot of meetings. So I think that's the thing.
I'm laughing at a question.
Oh no! Oh, I feel like this is gonna have a fun answer. Go on.
This is the thing. Like, I'm just kind of laughing because I'm like, do I give off that vibe that I would be somebody that's been arrested before? Now, I will say, younger me when I was in middle school was a bit of a shithead, and me and my friends lit off fireworks once, and one of them caught onto somebody's head and it lit his hair and jacket on fire, and the police showed up at my parents' door, and it was this whole thing. Never been arrested though. Okay, I was a little in trouble, a little slap on the wrist because I shouldn't be lighting off firecrackers by the bus stop.
You shouldn't be setting people on fire. No.
Yeah, we didn't mean for that, but we bought him a new jacket. It was fine. And we said sorry, and his hair grew back. So everything's all good, guys. But no, I've never been arrested for anything. I don't think I've even been close. I'm a very good citizen in both countries that I own citizenship in. So yeah, no, that's a hard no for me.
Okay. And we'll do one more question of Questions Corner. So if anyone has any thoughts in mind, chuck them in there, and then we'll have a little bit of a final natter. Can be a weird one. This one isn't necessarily the said question, but that's fine. And
definitely not.
And Danny went to prison for 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
And Clive with our final question of the day. If you were to be arrested, what would it be for?
I mean, it'd probably be something ridiculous at a 49ers game. Like, that's where I think my alter ego version of myself comes out. So, like, I don't know if you can get arrested for running across the field or doing silly things like that. If somebody dared me to run onto the field, not streaking, but potentially streaking, I would do it. And maybe that's what I'd get arrested for.
Not where I thought that one was going to go.
The fandom is like, it runs through my veins, man. Like I said, red and gold. So I feel like I'd do anything for that team. If I got arrested, it would be because of them, for sure.
Follow-up question for you, because I don't know what the answer to this is, because I think I'm a relatively boring person. What do you think I would get arrested for?
Man. This is a tough one. I honestly don't think anything, man. Not that I feel like you've got such a good soul. I don't think you'd do anything to get arrested. Okay, maybe if you were like super hungry and it was your lunchtime and you're like, oh my God, I didn't bring a snack, and like there's a bun sitting like a bakery and they're selling things and you might steal a bun. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, I need to eat. That's the only thing.
I've got protagonist from Les Miserables vibes, is what we're saying.
Or Aladdin, you're stealing bread for your family. You are the family. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean that's not. It's not the worst thing. We'll take it. We have some more suggestions. I believe this was aiming at you rather than me. And the other suggestions for my arrest reason include bank fraud and bird entrapment and being drunk and disorderly. Wayne, I don't drink.
That could be me, though, the drunk one. Maybe past me again. I don't really drink now, but yeah.
Oh, dear. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the stream, everyone. If you did, pop a like on it, subscribe. You could even become a channel member. You get a bunch of videos and stuff early, including the rebooted Balls Knowledge series, which I'm going to be recording another one of very, very, very soon, which should be very fun. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and we shall see you later. Toodaloo.